Hello, everyone. My name is Fugeki, and we are live. Hello, hello. Let me reduce the volume of the music a little bit. Alrighty. So, sorry, my my Ford is actually so oily. It is so hot in my apartment today. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's yeah, I don't know what it is. It's not super hot outside, but it actually feels really hot inside the apartment. And like the fan that you see behind me is actually the only fan that we have in the place, and it's doing a little bit of work, provided it's literally blowing on you the entire time. But the moment it starts like swinging around or whatever, it really hits you and something, you know. So it's a little hot, and like we literally, like my fiance is watching TV right now. So if ever the show you see in the background is more interesting than the stream, then like please feel free to watch, that little Netflix episode for you folks. But yeah, we were in Alberta like a few days ago, and we literally came back and it was like the hottest time. It was a heat wave basically for days over there, and they even recorded the hottest temperature in like 125 years. And we couldn't do activities. We had a hard time being outside and like whatnot, and it just felt really, really, really intense. And actually right now in my apartment, it feels worse than it was over there. So yeah, that kind of tells you something. To the point that we actually went a little like online shopping earlier, and we bought ourselves a little AC unit that we're going to be putting in our window over there. So we should be receiving the unit maybe, I don't know, within the next 2 days or so or something like that, which would definitely help. So that might help alleviate the situation a little bit, but I guess we'll find out. So yeah, chat, tonight we're gonna take it kind of relax and chill tonight. I still haven't done my dailies for the days. Dailies includes the daily heroic dungeon, and the daily heroic dungeon, I think today it's Black Morass. So it's not a super hard dungeon, it's just kind of maybe a little more time consuming than some other stuff. But before we do the Black Morass dungeon, I also want to do the daily for fishing and the daily for cooking, because that has a chance. We really want to have this, like these rare recipes that I still don't have. So we're gonna focus on that while we find a group for Black Morass, and whenever we find a group, we're just gonna head there. But my goal is to kind of like not lock off until I have my dailies done, and if ever we just spend too much time, it's too long for us to get a group of Black Morass and whatever, then I might just hop on my druid and do some kind of like maybe like a black furnace or something to help it level. It's almost level 62 now, so that should yeah, it's almost level 62, so worst case scenario, we're just gonna bring it to level 62, and that should be it. So let's just dive right into it. All right, so let's Alright, so we're just gonna start by doing the first thing that we should be doing, which is asking in guild chat. Let me reduce the sound of the game. I think the game sound might be a little high. Alright, so while we wait to find a group, we will start going to Netherstorm to do the cooking daily, which is to grab the 15 like magical berries or wild berries or whatever they're called. It's in this area here, the Ecodome mid realm.
May the light embrace you.
Oh, when are my cooldowns up? I feel like my cooldowns might actually be up. one day. Okay, phew, because I really didn't have the time to do that tonight. So
Be kind.
tomorrow we have to remind ourselves that tomorrow is the cooldown for Primal Mooncloth and all the rest as well. And I'm surprised because on this server, actually, Spellcloth sells for a lot less than it used on Faralina. Like, it used to sell for 120 gold, and this is about like 80 gold-ish right now, so that's kind of sad, but... Alright, nobody in guild is responding, so... Healer, looking for group. Daily Heroic. Black Morass. EST. I like how we have all of us like all like level 70s like spamming groups for like dungeons and for heroics and all that stuff, and then next thing you know you have like a guy that's just like looking for 2 more for no Maragon. It's kind of just so funny to see. Like, I think it's awesome, and it actually must be so hard to find groups right now for dungeons, like low level dungeons and whatever, because I don't know, like the looking for group chat is just absolutely spammed with max level looking for group for heroics and stuff. Well, hello there. And we were not able, unfortunately, today. My partner friend Steve, his name is Steve. His name in game is Bounty Hunter. So Bounty Hunter and we were maybe trying to get some of our queues for 3v3s and get the maximum amount of points for the week, but we weren't able to do it. We weren't able to do it for the week. So. So we're gonna lose a little bit of points for the week. We could have gotten another like 250-ish more, but that's okay. Rip Steve indeed. How are you doing, PyroX 101? How's it going? How is the weather like in Scotland, my friend? Because I am telling you, it is a sweaty weather in Canada. I don't know if that's a term, but yeah, I don't know if you can notice or whatever. My forehead is like super lustrous because I'm just like sweating so much just from being in my apartment. Shit, I thought I might have the time to do this this world quest before I not this world quest, this daily cooking quest before the dungeon, but I guess I'll have to do it after. Yeah, actually, Steve, like, I don't know if not Steve, sorry, Para. It's very warm but still raining with gale force winds, so typical Scotland. It actually, what you described sounded like the most typical description of Scotland I could have ever imagined. That sounds awesome. Honestly, I would trade that weather with you right now if I could. Like, like my fiance and my fiance's watching TV right now in the background, so you can see. But like, we were, as you might remember, we were in Alberta in Western Canada for 9 days, and we came back basically three days ago. And over there, there was a heat wave, and it was like a heat wave that basically lasted for about like almost like 7 days. It was absolutely atrocious, and it actually limited a lot of the activities, or maybe like hiking. We wanted to do some hiking and then we couldn't because it was way too hot and blah blah blah. But it was one of these days, actually, they recorded the highest temperature in the last 125 years. So we were in absolute, like, hell-like weather. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but like, it was so hot. and then we came back to Toronto. Yesterday was okay, but today I don't know what it is. It's so humid in Toronto right now that it just like it actually we were managing in the apartment without air conditioning whatsoever. Hate weather and existed on Earth. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, weather is so what's your favorite kind of weather then? Do you like cold weather? Do you like hot stuff? And by the way, how is the situation with work? I know that, like, you know, maybe if you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. But I remember last time, you know, there was like that thing that happened. Did you, no pressure, you know, like, did you manage? Are you still looking? Are you kind of just taking a break? Are you trying to figure stuff up? Did you got any? Did you apply anywhere? What's going on? Freezing cold is 10 out of 10. So what? Oh, maybe, I don't know, is Scotland getting very cold in wintertime? It feels like it's the kind of country that gets very cold, because, man, if you like freezing cold weather, you know, you're more than welcome to come here to Canada. You know, you get a few hot months, but most of the year it's good and manageable, and then you get about, like, five months of winter, which can be pretty cold, so... I started a new job, which is 10 out of 10 with great people. That's so awesome. The hours are crazy long, though. That kind of sucks. So, first of all, congratulations on the new job. That's amazing. That's the hell of a turnaround. So, what's the job into? Is it in a similar field? Is it different? And hopefully they're not forcing you to work like some fucking like 60-hour week bullshit and stuff. That would be horrible. At least you mentioned one thing that's pretty cool is the people are 10 out of 10. That's awesome, because you know the work environment with the colleagues and whatever is oftentimes the main component of you know, what makes a good job. So at least if you got good colleagues, that's already a plus. Oh, and Pirate, by the way, since you're here, I'm gonna use you as a kind of as a little test dummy. But how's the sound looking for not only for like in-game sounds or like whatever, but like also like TV in the background? It's the first time that I kind of stream with like the TV in the background, so I don't know if you could kind of just guide me in terms of if sounds needs to be adjustment. It'd be really appreciated. 10-hour shifts are low-key killing me, but it's good. Yeah, I mean, it's good money, but 10-hour shift, man, that's brutal. Is it 10-hour shift on, like, I don't know, do they compensate in different ways? Like, is it like 10-hour shift 4 days a week instead of 5? Like, or is it really like 10-hour shift 5 days a week? Okay, music, go down a tad. I'll do that. It's a little better. 4 days a week, yeah. So I guess, yeah. I mean, I can't, like, you know, 10 hours a day is absolutely insane. It's so brutal. I'm guessing, like, you know, at least the 4 days a week instead of 5 might compensate in a way. But man, if your body's burnt from doing, you know, like 10 hours a day, like 4 days a week, then, like, you know, that third day off that you have over the weekend is just a day that you need to completely recuperate, you know, from being burnt out the entire week. So that's not really doesn't really feel like a day off in that sense. But I'm happy, at least you got something. Is it in a field that you wanted to? Is it interesting? And if you don't mind just sharing with us, what did you find as a job? What do you do? Is it similar or different than what you were doing before? Hello, Reikatsu. How are you doing? Are you fully geared pre-rest best in slot for tanking right now at this point? By the way, Rekatsu, on which server are you on? Because if you're on Netherwind, we're kind of like potentially looking for a tank for Heroic Black Morass right now, you know, if you're interested. You know it? Oh, you are already. Wow. That's a quick turn of event. Just respect from healer to tank not too long ago. You're already full pre-raid best in slot. Or you're on Windseeker. How's the Windseeker server? Is it a good server? Is it busy? Is it full? Is it empty? Is it like horde heavy? How's the server like? Because I literally just transferred from Farlina to Netherwind, and I transferred from a server that's like 70% horde to a server that's like 70% alliance, and it makes a huge difference. Seems balanced with horde and ally. That's awesome. I love it. I'm feeling a little down. Oh no, what's happening? Hopefully everything's alright. And Pyrorex, I'm assuming that you're playing on EU servers probably, right? So I'm guessing like I can't also ask you to come and tank my dungeon. Everything is fine, just struggling with who I am sometimes. That is a tough situation for sure. I'm not sure how much help I can provide, but it is a very tough circumstances, and
Talk to me.
I don't know, I feel like I don't know if anything that I could say in this moment is gonna help in any possible way, but my first inclination to that is I think that a lot of the time in the world we live in, we're so much pushed to just do all the time, and my amazing fiance that you just saw walking in the background always, we try to remind ourselves constantly that our world involves a lot of doing all the time, and oftentimes we just forget to be. Just be there, be yourself, be in nature, be true to yourself, just, and maybe sometimes just doing that is already difficult in many different ways, but I think it's important to take the time to just be with oneself sometime and just not always like do, And actually, I said something similar to Pyrorex, which was in the chat not too long ago when you arrived. Said something, to Pyrorex around the same line not too long ago. I think it's important to take the time to figure things out. Like there's so much rush in the world we live in around the doing and everything. This time is sped up so incredibly. Capitalist schedules forces us to work like crazy hours, burn our bodies, burn our minds, and all of that stuff. And I think that just taking the time is already something that's counterintuitive, and it's oftentimes labeled as other things like lazy, irresponsible, or whatever you might name it. But it's actually so important to just take the time to be with oneself and to figure one things out. And sometimes if you need break, if you need time off, if you need to do whatever you can to do it, I would highly recommend it. I think it's one of the secrets to a healthy life. And it's okay to not have things figured out. That's also another pressure. Yeah, you told me earlier, so I said, not sure if I told you, but I'm transgender. I've been transitioning since I was 16. Yep, I remember you telling me. So I'm sure it's probably makes it even more difficult in a society that's trying to put you into boxes. I'm sure it's even, I don't know, it must be really, really difficult to go what you're going through, and I'm really sorry that you're going through it right now. How has the transition been going though? So say you've been transitioning since you were 16. I'm not sure how old you are right now, but how would you, so far, how would you kind of assess how it has been going? It's no biggie. I just struggle with my ideal vision of what I want to be. I'm 27. Okay. Yeah, and it's another thing that's really, really, really not easy. Another thing that is really absolutely super difficult to do in a world that's full of, you know, stereotypes and all of that stuff. But, you know, it's like, make sure that the ideal of who you want to be is set by yourself and not by other voices and other narratives around you that tell you who you should be. And I think already doing that, of eliminating, you know, the narrative that aren't yours, is already something that is very, very difficult to do. But I think we all struggle with that. I think you're right about that. I think it's something we all struggle with, but I think also, like, you know, like, some people have it way easier than other, definitely, especially if you're, like, you know, a white male in a very, you know, white supremacist patriarchal society. You definitely have so many different privileges that come along with that, that I think that belonging to different groups, marginalized groups, definitely make it way easier to be able to figure that out, because everybody's supposed to comply to the white male ideal, which is highly unrealistic and stupid and destructive and everything you can imagine, but whatever. So what do I need to fish? There's some Munchers, Fell Snapper, which is Hellfire Peninsula. Alright, so we go to Hellfire Peninsula. It's just out of curiosity, Reikatsu, you don't have to answer if you're not comfortable. Again, I just want to keep that, you know, preface that when I ask these kinds of questions, and you're more than welcome to refuse to answer if you don't want to. But I'm just curious, whenever you take time for yourself, take time to just be, just take time for yourself in general. What are the kind of things that you like to do? Do you kind of just sit around? Do you, I don't know, do you meditate? Do you go take a walk outside? Some people paint, some people do poetry. I don't know. It doesn't have to be doing either. You know, I'm focusing on the doing again, just even asking the question, but sometimes there are particular activities that we do that makes us go back to ourselves and isolate ourselves from, like, these outside, you know, voices and stereotypes and, like, whatever. So what are some of the activities that you like to do to get back to yourself? Let's say I'm on my laptop like 24/7, so it's gaming, Twitch, friends, meeting new people, reading up on languages. That seems really fun. Seems like you're doing a lot of activities of stuff that you seem to enjoy doing. You know, gaming, Twitch, friends, it's always amazing. Meeting new people, which is always great. Reading up on languages, I remember that. I remember you telling me that you had a goal to become a polyglot. That's so cool. That's so awesome. I've had a really enlightening conversation with my fiance. Her name is Shalene. I have an amazing conversation with Shalene when we were on vacation about slowing down. And, you know, it's something that I like you know, kind of like in the world that we're in, there's so much, again, I know I mentioned it earlier, but there's so much emphasis on the doing and the like productivity and blah 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 and all of that stuff, that, you know, your day needs to be filled with so much things. And oftentimes, like, you know, like we were telling each other that, you know, we both feel closer to ourselves when, or who we would want to be in, you know, when we slow down, when we just take the time to appreciate, when you let the time to let things sink in and not just superficially kind of like navigate super rapidly through life. I don't know if it's, I'm not saying this because I'm suggesting, I don't know if it's any helpful. It is. I'm just like coming from my own, you know, from my own perspective of my own personal experiences and conversation I've been having with her. And that's you. And yeah, you know, it's like yeah, it's like we don't let the time to let experiences like sink into our body and become embodied in a way that we want to just be that in the world constantly. It's like we go through something, it's very superficial, it's very quick, it's very, you know, like yeah, like rapid, I guess, and we just don't necessarily I know we don't necessarily like appreciate, and embodying is a real word here. It's like the key. Oftentimes we stay in our heads and we don't really let the feelings like sink down into the body, which requires slowing down, and it requires like moving away from a mode of being in the world that is very fast and it's very intellectual and it's very like everywhere. And, you know, since I was a kid, I was always, you know, kind of pushed into directions that like that made me learn to internalize a way of being that is very like hyper, it's very productive, it's very fast, it's very intellectual, it's very whatever. And as I've kind of like, you know, grown up and whatever, I realized that I don't really want to be that person for the future, because then it leads me to live a very like, I don't know, like a certain kind of lifestyle that is not the life that I personally want to be. So I'm trying, and my fiance can attest that sometimes I'm not doing a great job at it, but, you know, I'm trying to, yeah, slow down, take time for myself. And when I know that I'm doing a good job at just being, you know, like being myself and being in the present and like whatever, is I feel at peace, you know, like inside I feel at peace, and I feel kind of like unshakable. I feel very good. I feel very I don't know how to describe it. Well, if I feel like I'm in that other mode of being that is very fast, very productive, very hyper, very whatever, then it's kind of like I feel very easily frustrated. I feel very easily annoyed, because I'm not, yeah. And when I'm in the right mode of being, I feel more relaxed, I feel more at peace, I feel more harmonious with myself. And when I'm in that mode of being, it's very easy for me to write poetry. So I kind of write my own poetry whenever something moves me. So oftentimes being moved for me is oftentimes in nature, you know, seeing these beautiful landscapes, or even like with my fiance, being moved by her in many different ways. So when I'm feeling at peace and my heart can be moved, and I'm able to slow down enough to let the experiences sink in, then it makes me want to do poetry. And I do haiku and waka poetry more specifically, you know. So I think it's I'm trying myself, and again, I'm saying this like maybe it's helpful, maybe it's not, I have no clue, and hopefully it is. But, you know, it's kind of like trying to have these anchor points, you know, these anchor points of realizing like when I'm being myself, or when I'm being the person that I want to be, I feel like this. When I'm not embodying that mode of being right now in the world, then I'm feeling like this, you know. I think having these anchor points is really important, and it requires introspection and a lot of like kind of like awareness of the present moment, which in my mind also requires slows down. So for me, it's oftentimes meditation is a way that I'm kind of doing that. Again, it's mostly new to me. I'm not great at it by any means. I have a really big learning curve to do, but it's I think it's really important for us to be reminded of that. Kind of reminds me of a book I read in jail that explained how humans can almost be seen as borderline insane with how our brain race and never turn off, compared to how, say, animals are for instance. Exactly. Meditate is so helpful. Yes, it is very helpful. Being able to clear the mind and think of nothing is amazing. It absolutely is. It really is, but it's also like, you know, I think there's a misconception around meditation a lot for a lot of people, is that like a lot of people use meditation to calm themselves down so that they can be more productive after, you know. So it's just an appropriation of it's a commodification, you know. It's an appropriation of meditation by capitalism, that it's kind of like meditation is like allowing you to recharge your battery so you can just be a better productive member after, which is really messed up and like really whatever. Meditation like in itself, for itself, or the kind of spiritual connectivity, but also like individual insights and awareness is oftentimes not really, like meditation is oftentimes not understood that way, which is like why it's so amazing and so important to do. I think there's fireworks outside. Are you meditating yourself? You say meditating is so helpful. I'm guessing that you're meditating yourself. And yes, to your comment about the book, absolutely agree with you. You know, this like this insane productivity mindset that we have is just, it's so crazy, but it's also so like ingrained in our societal DNA. You know, the ideology of neoliberal capitalism is so like everywhere, and it's so naturalized, it's so normalized in society that it's normal for us to kill our bodies, literally kill our bodies and kill our minds, you know, for productive purposes, which is, I would argue it's not natural, but
Arcanon Polos.
all right, we got our summon. I used to meditate a lot, but not so much nowadays. Yeah, that's okay. I remember it's do you know, have you ever heard of Dr. K? So Dr. K is a streamer. Dr. K is a streamer, and he does like mental health education. Yeah, okay, awesome. So Dr. K, he was saying, you know, I think he tells that story a few times. He said it more towards the beginning. I don't know if he says it as much, because I don't listen to it as much right now as I used to. But he used to say, you know, like when he would go to his masters and stuff in India, and in his yogis and people that trained him, they were saying, you know, like, you should meditate 30 minutes a day, and if you don't have the time, then you should meditate an hour. You know, because it's if you don't even have the time in your life to do meditation, then it already says something about the kind of like overly stimulated, productive, fast life that you're living. And it might be a good idea to take some time to slow down, you know? Very wise indeed. We love the wise masters of the East. Whether the East includes, you know, India, China, Japan, Korea, and all that stuff, you know. So I did not respec. So we're gonna be healing this dungeon on this heroic dungeon as discipline priest, which should not be an issue. I've been eating. I was able to heal pretty much every dungeon so far as discipline priest, so. I'm curious, how did you manage to learn about Dr. K? In high school, I was reading a lot of books about Zen, yeah, and such things, and even Bushido, yeah. But anyways, it helped me relax during stressful time. Absolutely. It's Zen has a lot of insights into life. Well, Buddhism in general has the most incredible insights into life, and Taoism. I don't know if you've ever read anything about Taoism in general, but if you can, it's also a wonderful, absolutely wonderful life philosophy. I would highly recommend it. But yeah, my like my dissertation for my PhD, my dissertation is on ancient Japan. I translate text that's been written in the 11th century, so basically the year 1000 to 1333. I know it's very specific, but it's because of the periods of Japanese history. So from the end of Heian to the end of Kamakura period, and I translate texts from mostly political theorists, but also from Buddhist monks. And a lot of the texts that I end up translating are people that were major influence in the Zen tradition. So I'm pretty much well versed in the classical Zen tradition in Japan, and it's the insight that they have is just like incredible. It's like I'm not a practitioner enough as much as I would like to, but I'm starting to try to actually change that in my life. But I want to like include the insights of Zen Buddhism in my life in terms of practicality, meditation, and all of that stuff. But the way that they understand life, the way that they understand spirituality, the world, the universe, in my mind, is the best one there is out there of all of science, philosophy, religion, whatever you might have. In my mind, the one I believe has understood life in the universe the best is Buddhism, Taoism. So I tend to belong into that clan, I guess. That's so cool. I wish I could translate. I mean, you're already working on learning so many different languages. I know that, one of the first time we met, you told me, like, first conversation we ever had, the second thing you ever wrote in chat was that you were learning Japanese. And it doesn't have to be Japanese. I remember you were telling me you were learning Spanish, I believe too. So, like, you have, like, you're already in stepping stones of learning foreign languages, and then translation. Like, I'm not, like, I'm translating for myself, for my dissertation. Like, I'm not an official registered translator or anything of the sort. I just do it for myself, for instead of reading translations in English, I just translate the text myself, and then I use them in my dissertation. So it's just, like, that's definitely something you can do. You could definitely just, like, it's I think it's also a great way to learn a language, because I wasn't taught classical Japanese. I learned Japanese at university, and I lived there for 4 months, so I did that over there. But classical Japanese, like, nobody ever taught me that. I didn't take a course, I didn't do anything. I literally just self-taught all of that, to myself and the main way that I had to actually learn it was by trying to translate these texts myself. So if you're interested into translation, it's something that you're very much into. I think translation is actually a great way to help you, embody and internalize the language a lot more. It takes a lot of time, like, for me sometimes, like, to translate a few lines of classical Japanese might actually take me literally an entire day. But I don't know, I think it's such a cool way to, and different and super what's it called, like a good way to learn a language. I just realized, I was like, why is this priest taking so much damage? But it's because he's Shadow Word deathing on cooldown, so he just damage keeps being reflected back on him. Are you okay, baby? That's okay. Thank you. Yeah, Shalene is she's watching a show right now that just like popped up on Netflix, and you know, and the show has some like nudity and scenes and like whatever, and you know, we're kind of just afraid that then something is gonna randomly pop on TV and then I'm gonna get banned on Twitch because of it. You know? So she was just like, oh, I just had to fast forward that part because I thought there was something about to happen. I feel like we're not doing that much damage right now in this group. Should be okay. They have Renew and Palm on them. I should be able to drink to full. Curse, magical damage increase, okay. Okay, trying to get full mana before the boss. Okay, it should be fine. Yep. Alright. Easy peasy. Wait, did I get my badge of justice? Yes, I did. Because that's what we're here for. And now we can buy our last best in slot. Our last best in slot, which is going to be a cloak, actually. I already have an amazing cloak, but actually the bishop's cloak is, I'm not sure, like, I think they're like interchangeable in many different ways. The other cloak has a little less healing spell power, but it has MP5, so I might use the other cloak for PvP because of the MP5. Oh, brats. This person has his first badge of justice ever. Love to see it. So, Pyrorex, I don't know if you're still in the chat, but yeah, I'm really curious to hear about what happened with work, like with you know, the new job, and like what are you doing? Is it at least is it kind of like similar to you know, similar to the job you were doing before? Is it entirely different? Are you working in a different field, in the same field? If you're still in here, you know, more than welcome to share that with me if you're comfortable, as per usual. Oh God, is it me? Maybe it smells like fire a little bit. Not fire, but it smells like hot and warm. Really? Really? Did you, why does it smells like super hot and warm? Like, is it me, or does it smells like something is like heating or something? No, I know, but do you like smell that too, or is it just me? Okay, maybe it's just me. It's very possible that it's just me. Also, when you play as a priest, whenever you play with another shadow priest, it's actually really important that you you dot the main target, because the shadow priest has a spell. The shadow priest has a spell that is, well, it's a talent that's called Shadow Vulnerability, that increases shadow damage taken by 10%, and it's all shadow damage taken, you know, from all spells by every single member of like the raid or group or something like that. So like us, our Shadow Word Pain is actually shadow damage. So our Shadow Word Pain makes 10% more damage on targets when the Shadow Priests have their Shadow Vulnerability debuff on the target. So it's really important to do that whenever possible. And if you can, you know, you check out the stacks here. When it's 5, you can also throw in a few Mind Blasts. Instead of just 1k Mind Blast non-crit right now, which is pretty awesome. Refresh my odds. And my wand is also shadow damage, which means that my wand is gonna be doing 10% more damage as well. How's your show, baby? Is it manageable? Is it frustrating? Entertaining. It's a good word. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my powered shield is still up on the target. Basically has taken literally no damage. Yeah, I can't be using my hopefully my renew and palm is gonna be able to keep him alive for long enough for me to drink the full. Oh, he innervated me. Wow, that's a good tank. You know, druids are good tank when they actually innervate the priest between pulls. So he has 5 stacks, so okay. Can't heal because of the Mortal Strike effect. We're okay, I'm not using my cooldown, I don't need to. They're all almost dead now. Spamming Resurrection.
It's not too late. You may still
This guy will have to purge him at some point. We just did. Purge. Okay. Just getting ready to purge whenever possible. Right now, insta purge, that's how we like it. Reflected on myself because I'm a noob. Alright, we're two-thirds of the way, chat. And after this run, I will have literally bought all of the gear that I need from badges, which means I basically do not have, and I'm full pre-raid best in slot, so I literally do not have to run any dungeons except for hoping to grab my like enchanting patterns. That's the only reason why I would run dungeons. I need to survive. What's my macro saying? Oh, okay. Yeah, I could still run heroic slabs because in Shadow Labyrinth. So if I go Shadow Labyrinth Heroic, you have this from Murmur, the Shockwave Truncheon. If you compare with my mace, it's like a little bit more spell power, a little bit less MP5, but 16 crit. It's fairly similar. It's not like a definite crazy absolute upgrade, but it is a tiny upgrade. So that's the only thing. Running a Shadow Labyrinth would be basically the only thing that that would be left for me to do. So 5 stacks, we're gonna apply our Shadow Word Pain. We're going to Mind Blast the target, and we're gonna want to apply our Renew in our palm. So I think it's over there. Yeah. Come on, kill someone. It's a little panic bandage there, but so apparently I'm gonna keep keeping my beacon for boss. I've never really used the beacon on boss, so that's kind of weird to me, but whatever. It's what they want us to do, so I'll do it. Okay, it is 5 stacks, so we're gonna apply our I'm trying to keep all of my cooldowns for last boss. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I've been running with the wrong trinkets the entire time. I still have my PvP trinkets on. Okay, the fact that he used the dragon and he has Renew should be able to sustain it for a bit. Oh yeah, because the dragon's gonna keep the aggro anyway, so it's in cat form. Ah, that's kind of a good trick. I like that. Alright, boss time. Last boss. Last boss, folks.
The time has come to shadow me. Let us no longer be slaves of your those who will not embrace this greater plan shall
Alright, this is going very smooth. Wow, easy peasy. Oh, I wish that resilience gear would have been mine.
Gul'dan's horde will sweep across this world like a locust swarm.
At least do we get the primal?
My carefully laid plans will at last fall into place.
Who traded me these? You received item. Alright, that was nice and easy. That was a nice and easy run. We love these. And now I get to buy my last official best in slot gear. That's not true. I still need like rep to farm actually from this place. How close am I to if I do reputation? So technically, I need Revered with Cenarian Expedition to get the bracers, which are better than what I have. But also Keepers of Time. Okay, I'm almost Revered with Keepers of Time. And no. Oh no, Cenarian Expedition was the offhand, but this one's better. I need Keepers of Time for the bracers. Yeah. All right, let's go turn what we have. Okay, well apparently my stuff did not sell, but that's okay. This is all stuff I sent from my alt to disenchant. Actually, I'm just gonna do that right now. I don't think it's... well, I'm okay if it gives me Arcane Dust, to be honest. Or these, we're definitely happy about this. I just don't want stuff like, you know, like small prismatic shards and whatever. Like, it's, you know, we don't want none of that stuff. I'd be happy if it gives me, yes, these lesser planar ascents or the greater ones, because I really need these. Maybe it's a, let's try, maybe it's a weapon thing. Maybe weapon has more chance of getting these. Apparently it's a thing. Oh yes, we love it. Arcanus. Alright, not too bad. We did 5 of these. Because we need these to craft the you think the greater planar ascents? We need these to craft the Rune Eternium rod. And I think, I don't know if I have some left in the bank. I probably do.
All price places here are easy.
Do I have Spell Strike? No, I don't. Alright, this is bullcrap. We don't need that. Yes. Okay, this is for the daily, so that's good. We're gonna do it the old school way. Sometimes I'm able to land right on top of that tree right there. That means I'm doing it good. Hey, Cruel Decisions. Hey, yo, how was the vacation? Thanks for asking. It was really awesome. It was so incredible. I had a blast. It was like, you know, let's say equal at first place with the best trip of my life. It was really amazing. It was incredible. I'm lost of words to explain how it was. Honestly, it was beautiful. It was mind-blowing. It was spiritual. It was deep. It was fun. It was laughing. It was connectivity, you know, with my fiance and everything. I don't know. It was just a really, really, really amazing, wonderful trip. So I'm gonna talk about it a lot. Obviously, I'm actually planning on releasing, if ever you're interested, but like on my YouTube channel, I plan to do a kind of like video montage of like a few little places of either like pictures but also like videos. I took like 30 seconds videos that I would like cut and accelerate and kind of juxtapose them, whatever. And most of my videos are like about like landscapes, because in Western Canada it's basically the Canadian Rockies, you know. It's like it's huge mountains, glaciers, beautiful like, you know, glacier water lakes that are literally, you know, like crystal clear blue aqua, mind-blowing. It's so pretty, it's so beautiful. So if you're into that kind of stuff and you're moved by beautiful natural landscapes, then I think you're gonna appreciate that for sure. How about you? How was your so basically I haven't talked to you in 9 days. So how were your 9 days? Anything happen either in WoW or in real life? Did you manage to get to level 70 in game? Have you started to do some nasty rogue world PvP? I remember you telling me when you stepped in Hellfire Peninsula, you were telling me like, oh, I'm trying to quest and I have all these like level 70 no lives that are just there ganking me. So have you tried to return the favor a little bit? Because as a rogue, that's just like you're all set for doing that. You're like the expert at doing that.
See you around.
Ooh, modes of water. Let's go. Was pretty good. Hung out with my cousin that's in the army. He came back for a week. That's so cool. How long has it been since you were able to spend time with him or her? Or they? Three days ago. Oh, that's so awesome. It's like so you saw them 3 days ago, but before that 3 days ago, how long has it been since you were able to see them? You hit 70? Awesome. Hit 70 working on pre-raid and Bisque gear. There you go. Pretty much all there is to do right now. You know, to be honest, the only other thing you could be doing would be PvP, but you know, that's something I did the conscious choice to focus on getting all my PvE stuff sorted out, and then after that to do PvP, you know. So I think it's a good strategy to focus on that first, to be honest. I support you in that choice. I think maybe 6+ months, maybe longer. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because oftentimes when when people are dispatched, I'm guessing they're probably dispatched in another country or maybe even somewhere else in the US or something. So if it's the case, oftentimes like people are just like you don't see them for a really long time. So 6 months has been a while for sure.
Be well. Warm wishes to you.
That in here.
May your days be long and your hardships.
So I'm gonna go cook these fish. It's hard to get more game from heroics and farming rep as well. I can never find tanks. Yes, that is absolutely true. And if you're on a... I'm not sure which server you're on, but if you're on a server that is basically... sorry for my bad language, but if you're in a server that's basically filled with assholes, like... it's gonna like there's a lot of people that might also refuse you from joining the group because you're a rogue, because people are just like, oh, rogues are not like OP in PvE, so like we're gonna pretend like a group is full or like whatever. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of people that have this shit attitude that they only want to choose what's optimal, and sometimes they see rogues and they're just like, ugh. So you might have a harder time, which would really suck. I hope it's not happening to you, but you'll be a beast in PvP if that's any of your interest. So which server are you on, by the way? Because if you're on Netherwind, you can hit me up and I can heal you, Like if you're looking for healers or looking for groups or like whatever, yeah, I might get you in, Yeah, I made the groups. I don't really ask people to join. Yeah, I think that's a good strat, honestly. When you make the groups, are you on Sulfurous? Ah, all right. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, honestly. When you're in a, like, if you're one of these classes that are like, maybe like on the lower end or something like that, then doing the groups yourself, then you don't have to worry about like, people being assholes and not getting you in or whatever. I think that's actually a fantastic strategy. I should have rolled tank. Yeah, I feel like a lot of us are saying this. That's the thing that I loved the most about druids. Because, God, sorry. In classic WoW. In classic, not classic TBC, like in classic WoW, the expansion just before this one. I had like I made a druid, and I made a druid specifically for its versatility, because you can play a build that was called like the Heart of the Wild build. I don't know if it's still viable in any way right now in TBC, but it was like one build that allowed you to basically tank, heal, and DPS like any heroic content or whatever, very easily. And you could off tank in raids, and you could heal in raids as well. So you basically had one talent build, and then you just had to basically just like had different sets of gear in your bag, like one gear for healing, one gear for tanking, one gear for whatever. And having that versatility is absolutely insane. So if you're a class that loves versatility and being decent in a lot of stuff, you could, I know you literally just rolled, like a rogue and went all the way to level 70, and it's already such a grind to be able to get there. But, like, if ever it's of your interest, there's always a chance to roll either like a paladin or a warrior or whatever. Not a warrior, sorry, a druid, because they literally do every single roll possible. Why is Steve not on my friend list? One thing that is to your advantage though, as I don't know if you've heard of it, but as a rogue you can do these like stealth runs for because I think, if I remember correctly, I think you switch your professions up, right? You switch to mining and all of that stuff. And if you are, you can do these stealth runs in dungeons. Yeah, exactly. And you can make some pretty decent money out of that. And that's something like druids can do it, but not as efficiently as rogues, because rogues have sap and they have distracts and all that stuff to be able to loot the chests. Druids, like, you don't have any of that, so it's fairly complicated. But if you're interested into like gold making, rogues is really awesome at that. And also, like, you're a beast in PvP, whether it's world PvP or arenas and stuff like that. So I guess, you know, it's not like everything is lost because you're a rogue kind of thing, but it is a real pain to you know, sit there and, you know, wait for an hour just to be able to get a tank in queue kind of thing. It's just so brutal. Especially when you have like limited time to play. You know, if you're logging in only for like, I don't know, like an hour and a half or something, and then you go in and you're just like, oh shit, like, you know, it takes me 45 minutes to find a tank and I'm logged in for an hour. It's just like, there goes my run, you know? That really sucks. And friend bounty hunter on, I think that's his name. Bounty hunter, there we go. And I'm gonna give him this. That's my rogue friend who I run 2v2 with. Actually, I do PvP with. Actually, since I came back from vacation, we weren't able to do 3v3 because we didn't have enough time. You know, I basically had the like 7 days to catch up in 3 days. So I didn't have the time to do it, but we were able to cap in 2v2. We were able to cap in 5v5. I just didn't manage to get my cap in 3v3, but that should give us some good points for the week. You know, I think should give us about like 500-ish. So we'll be like halfway there to our first piece of gear for PvP, which I absolutely desperately need. Do you do PvP cruel decisions? Do you like doing arenas and stuff? Because there's a chance we might play against one another, you know? That'd be cool.
The Naaru have not forgotten us.
Oh, I have 4 motes of fire.
Safe journey.
Yep, I have that. I'm gonna go turn that to get the key to either Shattered Holes. Yeah, I did a lot of arenas or a bit in retail, so I'm looking forward to arenas. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. If you like arenas and you're in this kind of stuff, like Rogue is just so strong. It's such a beast. Like you can play, you know, you can play RMP. RMP is the best comp in the game in TBC. Well, it's pretty much like that almost every single freaking expansion, to be honest. It kind of pisses me off, but whatever. It's you know, RMP is like one of the best comp, if not the best comp in the game. And you know, like Rogue Priest, Mage Priest, Mage Lock in 2v2 is insane. If you can't find a mage, you can always do WRP, which is Warlock Rogue Priest, which is also an amazing comp. So as long as you play with a priest, you're in business. Whatever third one you find, like it could even be some, you know, like even warrior, hunter, whatever. It's not great, but you can still make it work. But yeah, if you find yourself a priest as a partner, you're pretty much all set for all brackets. So that's insane.
Be well.
I know right now I haven't streamed it because my it doesn't fit with my partner's schedule for my PvP partner's schedule. But at some point I'll try to sneak in some you know, recordings of me playing, and I'm gonna make some YouTube videos and all of that stuff for people to check. But I play Rogue Priest in 2v2. I'm gonna play RMP in 3v3, mainly RMP, maybe RWP, but I'm not sure yet. And in 5v5 it's just the most. In 5v5, right now we're running Priest, Rogue, Elemental Shaman, Warlock, and Holy Pally. And we did good. We did 5 wins and 4 losses. So yeah, pretty much, I don't know, like, no, just find yourself either, like, as you're grinding or ask your guild or whatever, just find yourself a priest, man. You're pretty much set in all bracket. The synergy between rogue and priest is absolutely incredible in TBC, which since then has been a tendency every single expansion that rogue priest has just one of the best synergy between healer DPS in the whole game. So oh, I need to convert these two for my Aldor rep. That's the next thing I need to do. There's a lot of things I need to do, whatever, but the Aldor rep is pretty much next in line for sure. Dumfrey. Do we know who's Dumfrey? So check outside. I turned on my Questy because it was messing up my Questy was messing up my my arena frames for PvP, so I had to turn it out. Oh, there he is. I don't know why, I just had a hunch that he was here.
Interest you on a pint?
Oh, and now I have to kill a Fel Reaver to get the Shatter Hull key. Okay, I'm definitely not gonna do this tonight because stream is almost over anyway, but kind of cool. Chat, I get to kill a Fel Reaver, you know, that's something. Oh no, it's not what I want. I want to go back to Shat. Shatrat, and I want to buy my last piece of best in slot with my badges. Which I'm actually going to delete from my little, I have a little note in my phone. I have a little note. On my best in slot gear, and now I can delete that. I can delete the cloak. Honestly, I'm full. Yeah, pretty much. Like, the only thing that's missing, technically, the only thing that's missing is so right now I have the Hallowed Crown. Sorry, my UI might get it, my overlay might get in the way. This head and these pants, they're like really good, but I'm supposed to change it to the White Mend set. So for example, I'm just gonna give you an example of one. For example, this one, it's like 79 healing spell power and 11 MP5, so 75 and 79 and 11 and 3 sockets, and this one is 57 and no MP5. So it's like I would get 3 sockets, which would give me about like 52 more healing with some MP5 as well. So anyway, and that's like that for the pants and the hood. So if I have the White Man hood and the White Man pants, I'm basically full best in slot. But these are their drops. I need to get the pattern, I need to craft them, I need to whatever. And whatever I have right now, the Hallowed Crown and the Pontifex Kilt are the second best option. So like, I'm basically, and also this, the Cosmic Life Band. There is one ring that is better from Mana Tombs. So, Mana Tombs, Heroic, but it drops from Yor. It's this ring here. This here, ring here, is better than the Cosmic Life Band. But like Yor, if you don't know about it, Yor is it's like a big core hound looking creature, and you need to summon him. But in order to summon him, you have to complete a chain quest, and I'm almost at the last part of the chain quest. It's a chain quest in Netherstorm that actually eventually transfers you to Blade's Edge. In Blade's Edge, over here in Bashir's Landing, you need to open up cages, and there's a mob that's gonna pop out. And then you kill the mob, and there's a 20% chance that it's gonna drop an item that you turn for the quest. And then after that, he's gonna be like, hey, go in that dungeon and summon that boss and kill it. So I'm basically on the last steps of being able to have the quest that allows me to summon that boss. And whenever I do, then I'll be able to get the ring. But to be honest, it's like, you know, even if I never get, you know, it's kind of like, how can I say this? Like, getting the other ring would empower me by probably something like 0.015% of what I am right now. You know, it's like I could literally never get that other ring and just stick with this one, and I'm gonna be absolutely perfectly fine. So at this point, it's really just even like right now, just look, okay?
May your days be long and your hardships few.
I'm gonna buy this cloak. Oh, it's not from him.
Kind to those less
It's from the vendor up there. The cloak? No, I don't. That's the next thing that I gotta do. Actually, that's, again, there's so many things I gotta do. This game never ends in terms of the stuff you have to do. But Bishop's cloak. That's what I need. Okay, so let's look at it for a second. So see, right now my cloak has 21 stam, 22 stams, 21 intel, and 55 healing spell power. And if I equip the Bishop cloak, it's less stam, less intel, less healing spell per second, but I get 8 MP5, which is kind of big. So if you look at my stats, I lose 9 healing spell power, and I get 8 MP5. So it's kind of like, you know, like, what's better between 8 MP5 and 8 bonus healing? You know, it's kind of like, at this point, it's really a matter of, like, I don't know, just really fine tweaking. I might necessarily not need it, but I think I'm gonna use the cloak potentially for PvP, because in PvP, what's the most important thing is mana. You know, it's like managing your mana and like whatever, and the more mana regen you get, the better it is. So like, I would only lose 6 stamina. I would only lose 5 stamina to get 8 MP5, which is kind of huge. So I'm gonna put it in here with my PvP stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in here with my PvP stuff.
safe journey.
No, I don't have full enchants. Like, I actually don't have any enchants on my gear at all, except for this one, 15 Spirit. I have the cheap one from this because I'm not revered with Aldor yet. I'm kind of still working on it. I got the head enchant. I still miss bracers, weapon. I got the ring ones. I don't have boots. I don't have gloves. But I do have all the enchants on me. So see, like the... No, I'm missing glove. I think, no, glove major healing. So that's something that I have to do. Anyway, I'm an enchanter, so I'm gonna do all, like this one, I'm gonna do all of my enchants myself. I just need to farm the mats, and the mats are gonna take me like days to farm. So yeah, so that's pretty much the next step, I guess, whatever. But at this point, like, you know, you've done yourself, you've done Gruul's Lair, you've done Karazhan and whatever. It's just like, you don't need to be You know, like you don't need to be like completely decked out, like fully enchanted and like whatever to be able to get to the content, as long as you have like pretty much like super solid gear. So yeah, it's like that's the next stuff that I would have to do, would be to like farm my, but then it's like, you know, I need to farm my enchants, I need to farm my PvP gear, I need to farm my rep with Aldor. So I don't know which one to prioritize, but I think I'm gonna prioritize farming my my enchants for now, my materials, and after that I'm going to switch to farming my PvP gear, because right now we're kind of getting destroyed in PvP because we don't have resilience. And it's just gonna make my life so much easier the more resilience I have. So like the quicker I can get to farming this, which is just farming BGs to pre-mates pretty much, and I don't mind it because I kind of like doing PvP, so that's always a win. But yeah, I need 9 more badges for my neck piece. Just bought Bloodlust Brooch Trinket. It's indeed a grind. It is absolutely a grind. But the thing with the badges is it goes pretty quickly, because if you just chain a bunch of heroics, like you just take one day or one evening, whatever, you say, you know what, tonight the only thing I'm gonna do is just chain heroics the entire night, you can easily get almost like 40 badges like in one night, you know, like very easily, if you turn the daily. If anything, even getting just 20 is like enough. And if you only need 9 to get your other pieces, 9 is literally like you do one heroic botanica, and you get 5 badges. Then you just do whatever daily it is and you get your other 4 and you're done. Like, you know, you just got your 9. So Botanica is so OP for farming badges because it's 5 bosses and they all drop badges, and it's a pretty easy dungeon as well. So I would highly recommend for you to do that if you haven't done it. And even farming Botanica and Arcatraz for rep grind is actually really good. So if you're not revered with Shatar, if you're not revealed with Shatar yet, there's a bunch of chain quests that you can do in Terrakar Forest and also some in Shadowmoon Valley that's going to give you some Shatar rep. And then just do all the quests, just grind some Arcatraz and Botanica, and you're gonna get revered like this. It's gonna be super fast. But yeah, chat, it's the end for me tonight. I'm going to join my fiance on the couch watching some incredible TV shows on Netflix, and yeah, so thanks all for coming, and I appreciate everyone tonight. You know, Pyrex came in to say hi, and congratulations on the new job. It's absolutely amazing. I'm really happy for you. Reikatsu, really cool conversation. I hope you figure things out. I know it's gonna be hard, but I know that things are gonna be okay. And Cruel Decisions, amazing. Congratulations on level 70. I'm excited for you to keep learning more about your journey and how you're gonna start doing PvP and how you're gonna be loving Rogue in PvP. I know that you will. I think it's gonna be awesome. But chat, thank you so much, and I will be seeing you tomorrow evening, same time, 10:30 p.m. EDT. And yeah, thank you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.